Hello, Ellen.
Hello, Trevor.
Here we are back at Yard to Table, looking out at our yard from our table.
Yes.
Through the window.
This is a very wonderful improvement to our barn and studio.
Nice. I know we mentioned the new
space.
windows, but it is a lovely view. And we made it through the heat.
We did. We made it through 3 unseasonably warm, hot days.
It was the heat dome.
It was the heat dome.
Or a heat. What did you find recently?
Well, it was supposed to be, it was a heat dome. And then it was supposed to end in a ring of fire thunderstorm event.
A ring of fire thunderstorm.
Yes.
This does not, to me, seem like a good thing.
I just think that the weather people are bored and they're making up really fantastical things. Maybe there's a textbook where I could find ring of fire description.
Do you think they're just using AI to make new names for different things?
Or they really like Johnny Cash.
That's true.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like Johnny Cash?
I mean, come on.
Good stuff.
The Man in Black.
But there's too many. It is science fiction already out there. We don't need to help to make it worse with names.
Right, because today is cool.
Today is almost cold. It's too much back and forth.
It is.
But here we are. It's mid-June already.
Mid-June. We have passed the summer solstice.
And our garden's looking pretty good.
It is. We are flower forward this year. We've got some beautiful cosmos popping up.
Oh, yeah, they're already popping up.
The dahlias are growing. The zinnias are coming in.
We got our scapes. Those are all delicious. We've done all sorts of good stuff with those.
Processed more in the fridge for fun things ahead.
The peonies are gone.
Yeah. That's a sadness. That's a sadness. But the hydrangea.
Oh, they're popping.
It's another good year.
Lovely. It is a good year.
It's another good year.
Our lace hydrangea are out. They are very beautiful.
They're little sparkly blue pockets. And yesterday.
The bees were all over those guys.
Oh, and today.
I'm going to post a little something about that.
You should, because it was a party.
It's a party. It's basically a party.
I love the bee parties. They're my favorite.
It's like a bee rave.
Yeah. They were not happy when I was watering. I was like, I'm not going to get you guys. I'm watering at the roots here because they were so.
They needed the spray.
They needed some water. But I didn't want to wet their wings. I'm like, you guys are good.
We do have a stream next door, but still, they need a little extra space.
But today, I was out in the garden, and the bee balm is coming up in the old cold frame.
You love a bee balm.
It's just Mandara, crazy alien looking plume. I love the scarlet one. But I went out and I was taking some pictures, of course, and I just missed it, but there was a hummingbird drinking from one of the scarlet bee balm. But you know what?
It was great. Captured on film?
I captured it for myself.
Photos or it didn't happen?
They were just hanging there, taking a little drink. I was like, that's what we're doing it for. It was amazing.
That's awesome.
It was very, very cool.
I'm sorry I missed that.
It was very, very cool. But lots going on in our yard.
The cool thing is there's lots going on in everyone's yards right now. And we very much want everyone to partake in the most localist of yard to table cooking. But it's actually not that far afield if you can find your local farmer's market.
Because if you can't grow in your yard or you're not ready yet to grow in your yard, you can find a farmer's market and you get the very best local produce that's ready for you to cook. It is farmer's market season right now.
It really is.
We talk a lot about seasons, obviously, on this podcast, but it is
peony season. This is farmer's market season, garlic scape season.
But it is time. This is the time. If you haven't gone yet, all of the farmers markets are open.
Bumping.
They are starting to just produce the seasonal wonders that you want to just grab and eat. I'm just thinking about last week grabbing the cherries at the Westport Farmers Market from Woodland Farms. Our daughter picked out the ones that she wanted, which is so much fun. She's off from school and coming home and her eating them. I mean, is there anything better?
She jammed through
2 containers
of cherries from Woodland Farms.
Have fun, girlfriend.
And we got some more for her, which was excellent.
This week, I know.
But that's the amazing part is that you have all of these amazing local vendors, these wonderful people that are sharing what they grow and so easy to access them. There's been such a huge increase. I think that's a surprising thing. You sort of think about, it's a farmer's market. I know there's a farmer's market, but we didn't always have them. They weren't always around. Mm-hmm. There's been just a 50% increase over the last 10 years in farmers markets overall. There used to be in the 6,000 range back in the 2010s, and now there's almost in the 9,000 range of farmers markets all across the country. And even here locally in Connecticut, we have about 100 different across the state farmers markets that are going to be close-ish to you.
I hope what that shows is that we are really, as a state, as a society, understanding how important it is to get our food locally, to support our local growers. Here in Connecticut, we have ConnecticutGrown.org. If you ever wonder, what are we growing in Connecticut or what's in season, you can go to ConnecticutGrown.org and they will show you, and it's ctgrown.org. You can explore the Connecticut Grown Trail throughout the state of where things are growing, and you can find out what is at your market or what should be at your market, depending on where you are in the summer season.
There you go. We
had the amazing Lori Cochran-Dougal on season 1 of Yard to Table to talk specifically about the Westport Farmers Market. That's really super close to us, and the work that she has done in that market to ensure that her vendors are local, that they are using local ingredients of cooking and bringing things to the market, but just also telling us about what to look for when you're buying in season, which is so critically important. So definitely go back and listen to that one. But
you can do a 2-parter. You can listen to this episode and then you go back and listen to the first episode.
You know, it all started for us at our first farmers market.
It did, which was not anywhere in Connecticut.
No.
As our friends out there know, we were Californians.
That's right.
Before we were Connecticutans.
Is that an official term?
I don't think so.
Connecticuters?
I don't think Connecticuters is also correct. I think we should know.
I think we should know.
We're from Connecticut. We're in Connecticut.
We're New Englanders.
We're New Englanders.
That's definitely not a word. 100% not a word.
But we were at our Studio Cities Farmers Market.
Yeah, Studio City.
In California, beautiful Los Angeles, every single week.
Yes, every Sunday. It was a Sunday
Without
market.
fail.
And there were a lot of farmers markets in our area in Los Angeles. There was probably 100 in a 3-mile
all over Sherman Oaks. There were tons. There were almost too many.
But that was really, and we've talked about it a lot, our first experience. And we went back. We were just back in.
We happened to be back in Studio City, found ourselves back there in February.
And it was really fun because our daughter, we started going to the farmer's market before our daughter was born. Obviously, after she was born, it was also a huge part of our life to take her on Sundays, and taking her back was super cool.
We were able to record just a little bit of audio. We happened to bring some mics with us. And this is a very auspicious episode. This is our daughter's first time on the podcast officially. So enjoy.
Kiddo, do you remember coming to the farmer's market when you were little?
No.
You don't remember anything about the farmer's market?
No.
Are you happy to be at the farmer's market?
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Here we are in the Studio City Farmers Market. Have been a minute since we've been here.
I think about 4 years.
4 years is a very, very long time, but it is still absolutely excellent.
Yeah, it's so fun to see the vendors who are here when our kiddo was a toddler, and now who's here today, and the new local growers and farmers and makers that are here now.
And here's our first stop, the bakery.
One of the bread vendors that we used to always get our fresh bread from was Old Town Baking Company out of San Bernardino. And they have just an incredible garlic cheese bread with fresh cloves inside. And when tomatoes are in season, just slicing that fresh tomato on the garlic cheese bread, I think we've talked about that before, is just one of the most delicious experiences. They're at oldtownbaking.com. If you're in the Southern California area, you must try garlic cheese bread. Absolute fave.
The Studio Cities Farmers Market has been here for decades, and it is a full city block. Everything here from citrus to vegetables to food vendors to flowers to exotics to rides for kids. This is really one of the places that we completely understood how important buying local could be.
Well, we just tried the sweetest mandarin in the world, which is the daisy, grown in Fresno County. What do you think, kiddo?
It's pretty good.
It is pretty good. It is excellent, in fact. That's one of the things that's so unique here at the farmers market is that there is so much citrus. A little bit different than back home.
And getting those fresh Cara oranges, oh my goodness. Those are coming home in the suitcase. Don't tell anyone.
One of the best things about any farmer's market, if you're on the East Coast or the West Coast, is that there is such a familial atmosphere. You have makers and growers, and they just know the customers. I've heard about 20 times today, "Hey, how are you? It's great to see you." The regular, the usual, it's so much fun.
It's really fun because all the food vendors at the market are now in a separate shaded lot, the ones that are actually preparing food to eat, which is really smart because the line on the street gets really warm, and this parking lot is now shaded with some beautiful big pines. And it's just a explosion of families and strollers and people cooking and talking about the food that they're making. And you have everything from breakfast burritos to crepes to barbecue to rice rolls. And my stomach is already exploding. Vendors at a farmer's market tell you so much about the community you're in. And obviously in Southern California, it's such a rich mix of cultures. So pupusas to tamales to steamed buns and dumplings to croissants to rice rolls. It's really a smorgasbord of your senses and for your tummy. The palate is huge.
Did you miss it? Did you miss our kiddo's big debut? Because it happened quick. That's how it goes when you're a parent. Yups and nopes. That's the way it goes. There was nothing else to say.
She did provide some commentary on the citrus.
That's true. She does like the citrus, and she did like that. But the yups and nopes were, that's a 9-year-old for you right there. That's what you get sometimes.
True to type. But we had a great time.
It was a great time at the market.
And it was wonderful. Obviously, it was beautiful. The weather was great. But I'll tell you what, I had some thoughts going back to that market.
You did?
Yes. Lots of single-use plastic.
That's true. There was quite a lot of plastic bags, plastic
foam
utensils,
containers.
foam containers. Yeah.
And when I think back to our conversation with Lori, which you should all, again, listen to, I think about the work that she has done to limit and eliminate single-use plastics and how incredibly important that is, because farmers markets should be centers of sustainability and examples. I was shocked by the amount of plastic.
It was really surprising because mostly with the food vendors,
yes,
but also with other farmers as well. You're getting a plastic bag full of oranges, beets, or whatever. And that's just not something that we see regularly.
And already in the time that we've been here, we've been socialized to that concept. And it's such an incredibly important one when you think about it. And I have to send them some feedback.
Sure, they'll be very, just send them the episode and just say, listen here. We'll anonymously send them the episode.
Oh, you see those brimming trash cans full of garbage. It's pretty shocking, actually.
And I think one of the other things that was so surprising, or that we've become accustomed to in a different way now that we're primarily going to markets around Stonebrook, is just how local is for us here versus local farmers market in a place like California.
Right.
Because a lot of those growers came from Central Valley.
Right. Which is not close to Los Angeles.
That would essentially be like going to Massachusetts or New Hampshire.
Yeah.
Or somewhere else that's really not close.
That's right.
Obviously, it's a much bigger state. Obviously.
Still California grown.
Yeah. But it is still California grown. But at the same time, you're not going to meet the actual grower, most likely. You're not going to meet the person who owns the farm that they are in the soil all the time. You may meet somebody who works there.
Right.
But there's so much more of a true local connection here
1,000%.
at our markets, because you're really talking to the people that are doing all of the work and the planning and the thinking and all of that kind of good stuff.
Yeah. And I think in both cases, obviously support of these markets is critically important. But when we think about that whole idea of meeting the farmer and knowing who grows your food, which is Westport's slogan, and I think it's so important. When we start thinking about what our local markets are, I'm thinking about every day from Wednesday to Sunday, there is a market within probably like a 10-mile radius of us that has very hyper-local farmers that are showing up and selling their food. And it's so critically important that we support them. We start on Wednesday. You have Wilton's Farmers Market, which is 12 to 5. It's one of the only later afternoon markets.
It is,
which is nice.
It is nice.
And their biggest producer there is the Amblertown Farm. And Amblertown Farm is just that. It's a town farm. We have our own town farm, which is Lachat.
Yep.
But they have a community growing field. Amblertown Farm is a much larger operation. And
it's huge.
So what was so great when we went to the Wilton Farmers Market and went to the Amblertown Farm booth, we got to meet Jonathan Kirshner, who is the farmer, the main farmer who is working that land.
Yeah, he's the director of agriculture. He does all of the work at Ambler. He plans everything. He's dirt under his fingernails. That's the kind of person you want handing you yellow squash and zucchini.
That's right.
You want that guy.
Yeah. And it's such a great community vibe because, of course, like the theme that we see in all markets is it's a space for gathering. There's music, there's things for the kids to do. In this particular market in Wilton, they have a lot of vendors that come and sell things that they make in addition to producers.
Some adorable music.
Yes.
Absolutely lovely music. A little quartet was playing some of the old timey greats.
It was great.
Just so much fun.
It's quaint little gazebo in the center.
Wilton's so cute.
It's adorable. And so you have this retail space that's right close by. And then you have this incredible pop-up market that happens every Wednesday. And it's great to be able to go pick something up for dinner and come home, which is in my head always.
It is. It's true. And you do an amazing job.
And also at the same day on Wednesdays, there's the Darien Farmers Market, which I find super fascinating because it is a farmers market that's right in front of a big box grocery store. I won't say which one, but that's been operating for a very long time. It's a smaller market, but you have incredible vendors there, Connecticut grown. You've got Woodland Farms, who has those amazing cherries. And there's a lot of vendors that you will see that are local that are going from market to market and vending on different days or having multiple booths at multiple markets.
And that's, I think, a real testament to the growers and their organizations that they're actually able to create a scenario where they can be in two places at once.
That's right.
I can't be in two places at once, but they can somehow, and they do an excellent job at it. But that just goes to show you that you're going to need things in your grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
As much as you can, you want to buy local. The sort of genius move of Darien's Farmers Market is pick up all the stuff that you can at the market and then pick up the other items at the grocery store.
Go get your cleaning supplies.
Yeah, because there's not a lot of people selling cleaning supplies at farmers markets. There may be some out there, but not the ones we know.
That's right.
But you're going to get better chicken at your market, at your local farmers market, coming from chickens that people have met and know than you are from the big box store. That's just period. That's a full stop.
Listen, that's Wednesday. Now you moved to Thursday. Speaking of chicken, Westport Farmers Market, and that's one of our only year-round markets. So
Correct.
Right now we're in the summer market, but amazingly, they continue and have the winter market at Gilberti's in Westport. But think about that chicken I got last week.
So it was shockingly amazing.
Which is Sankow's Beaver Brook Farm. It was incredible. And we also, huge shout out to Ox Hollow. We always love getting our poultry and meat from Ox Hollow Farms as well. But that chicken was juicy. How did you do it on the grill?
I just did our normal old pulled from California recipe of lemon rosemary chicken. It's obscenely, nonsensically easy.
It's our classic.
I take one of our reusable bags. I put squeeze a whole lemon, olive oil, salt and pepper, little onion powder, all in the bag. Throw the chicken in there. Just shake it, mix it up, fold it up, let it marinate, throw it on the grill. Basta così. That's it. There isn't anything else to do. It has never failed me. Even if you leave it on the grill a little bit too long, grill it on like a medium-high heat. If the pieces are cut a little bit thinner, it all goes through really easily. I've never had that fail. It's always juicy. It's always tender. And if you get it with the local market chicken, it's like it's a showstopper. And it's so simple. So what about Friday? Let's move to Friday.
Well, Friday, there is a new old market that's popped up.
Interesting. That's like when Susie Flores from Stonington Kelp said we were her newest old friends.
Yes.
It's the same thing. The newest old market.
the newest old market. So the Rowayton market is now weekly on Fridays. It's 10 to 2. It's located at this historic picnic park. And
there were 2 markets before.
There was a market that had a previous evolution. And now I believe this is a new version of the market in a new location. And the cool part is it is being fiscally sponsored by the Westport Farmers Market and also being mentored. They have a mentorship with the Westport Farmers Market so they can grow and sustain and expand.
If you're going to have something with the Westport Farmers Market, I would like to be mentored by the Westport Farmers Market. The whole market, I want to be mentored by them.
I know. It's not a bad thing. I mean, Lori's a powerhouse, but we went there. So
yeah, we were able to go there and see what the new version of the market was, and we had an absolutely great time.
Well, here we are. We are here. We made it to the beautiful Rowayton Farmers Market. Wow, this is a gorgeous spot.
It is lovely, and even just walking into the space, there's such an amazing energy that's here that is just very palpable. Everybody's having an absolutely lovely time.
Well, I think it's some quintessential Connecticut charm. We have boats on the water.
Oh, yeah.
It's a lovely day. Picnic benches on grassy knolls and some incredible Connecticut-grown, organic, everything. I can't wait to get in here. Let's check it out.
Let's go all around.
Oh, I see some vendors we know. Ideal Fish.
Oh, there's Seacoast mushrooms.
Wave Hill breads. Amazing.
A lot of our friends are all around, and there's some new different places that we haven't even seen before. This is awesome.
As you walk in, I think for any farmer's market, you want to check and see what they're doing in terms of how you can help. There is a booth right when you walk in here in order to buy a friend of the market bag for the Rowayton market and a t-shirt. And we know that we know that from the Westport market. Yeah. It's so important to buy a bag, support the market, and you usually get discounts from the vendors as well.
Which is always nice.
Yeah.
Always nice. A nice little present, a little upgrade.
Oh, there's the hickories. I think I need to get some salsa.
We are almost out of salsa. I think we have said many times I have extolled the virtues of the hickory salsa, which is pretty phenomenal. Hi, Pooch.
Hi. Hi, how are you? Hi. Good. Definitely want to get some salsa. Thank you. And I'm thinking to get some of your marinara also.
Oh, yeah. And salsa.
We have scapes.
Scapes we have. Get some of the chive blossom vinaigrette, which is so delicious.
Love that. Oh, and they've got peas. We're not growing peas, so let's get a pint of peas. We'll put it in a nice salad with spinach. Yeah, great. Thank you. Are you guys going to be here weekly?
Yes.
Cool.
Oh, wonderful.
And there's an absolutely lovely guitar player here, which let's have a listen.
Okay, this is an utterly charming market. From the boats on the water to the incredible vendors, farmers, to the set of Macbeth
Yeah, just a little pop in. That's what I usually like on my farmer's market. I like a Shakespeare set, just because that's what we're going for these days.
Shakespeare in the park over the weekend, which I think is wonderful. It has just lovely energy.
I will say that having a beautiful water view as the backdrop for your market is kind of tough to beat. It's a good one. It's not too shabby.
It's lovely. And again, all of the main vendors that you want to find at a farmer's market are here. So you can get your meats. You can get, beautiful cardinal just flew by.
Now you're just showing off. Farmer's market.
Kind of
Rowayton Farmer's market. You're just showing off now.
Fish to meat to vegetables to staples. I mean, it really has it all. And I mean, that's what you're looking for. And I think the most important part is, as we watch, there are locals that are here, that are from the neighborhood, that are saying hi. Kids are playing, getting a popsicle, supporting local vendors, and it has the energy of this particular community. And you can just tell by being here how much everyone enjoys. And I think it's wonderful that this is going to be weekly for the community now.
I'm going to tell you, it's a good market.
Tell me.
I'm walking in to the Rowayton market, and there's a little boy, 2 years old, blonde hair. He's got a piece of bread that is smothered in pesto and mozzarella on top, and he is just hammering it into his face. I mean, that's like he's an ambassador, essentially.
Yes.
He's a farmer's market ambassador at such a young age. I applaud him.
And we ended up shoveling same in our faces.
Oh, yeah. We happen to be talking to Saint X, who does amazing pestos of all varieties: ramp pesto, arugula pesto, pesto. A lot of them are not free, and they also make their own mozzarella and burrata and all this other amazing stuff, partnering up with Wave Hill Breads to make up just the bottom part.
That's a powerhouse stand.
It's unbelievable. It's kind of ridiculous.
He was like, try the garlic scape, then let me give you this one. I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay.
I don't know if
sure.
if the gentleman who was making and serving these lovely little amuse-bouche of the market remembered that we were still standing there, but he just kept giving them to us.
And we're not going to say no.
And I would just keep eating them. As much as he's going to hand me, I'm going to take it.
Fresh bread, pesto, and cheese.
I would be an imbecile if I didn't do that.
Well,
and there's dogs.
No comment.
There's little pooches all over the place.
I know. You don't usually see dogs at a farmer's market.
But this one is an outdoor.
Because it's a park.
The same thing. It's very much like Ridgefield. It's a park.
It's a park.
So
yeah.
It's open to all. And
yeah,
it was just adorable and lovely.
Yeah.
That's one to pick up on, friends. You got to go.
Yeah.
Well, that's the week.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Market.
And now there's something on Saturday.
There is. There's the Black Rock Farmers Market, which is in Bridgeport, this area of Bridgeport called Black Rock. And there is the Ridgefield Farmers Market, which is now weekly. Used to be a bi-weekly market, but this summer is a weekly market right in downtown Ridgefield.
It's such a beautiful location.
On that green lawn in front of the church.
Big trees,
music.
Beautiful trees, music. And it's always fun. I think it's fun, at least. And probably everybody will think it's fun, because if I think it's fun, pretty much everybody thinks it's fun. It's so much fun to see some of the same farmers at multiple farmers markets. So you get to know people like Dina and Justin at the Hickories, and sometimes you'll see them at one farmer's market, and then you see them at another farmer's market. You say hi.
It's amazing. Their home market is the Ridgefield Farmers Market, because they're a Ridgefield farm,
right,
which is great. So just like we were talking about with Ambler at the Wilton Market, this is their market for Ridgefield. But they sometimes pop in. They are
Westport,
a vendor on rotation at Westport.
It's so much fun.
Yeah,
it's so much fun.
It's great, and the food vendors as well. We see them, and they're at different places. But there's also unique entities in each of these markets,
which is so cool.
Gives it their own community feel and flavor. And speaking of our own community, we cannot forget about Lachat Town Farm Markets, which are monthly.
That's a monthly market, right? It's not every day, not every week.
Not every day,
once a month.
Not every day, not every week, but once a month. Obviously, we're biased. It's our town farm.
It's our town farm. It was bumping. We just went.
We just went, and we went to the June market.
It was packed.
This is the essence of what's so incredible about communities and the markets. I mean, our market at Lachat is really it's a community come together.
It's a party. It's like a block party.
It's like a block party.
It's a Weston block party at Lachat.
Blankets, beach chairs, amazing bands. Our neighbor's son, who is an accomplished keyboardist in college, is in that band. And
Carl doing it up.
Oh, Carl Schultz doing it up. Was incredible. There's amazing. Again, you can get Connecticut grown organic vegetables. We have a local baker who has baked goods that she does. We have this incredible candle maker who makes candles here in Weston. And then the incredible food vendors. So Carla Krasen with Tumu, who has a restaurant in Fairfield, but she's a Weston resident, and she puts her food out at the Lachat Town Market.
There were some grumpy dumplings there.
Grumpy dumplings. We also saw
at Wilton and a bunch of other places.
Tony's Pizza Truck.
Always a hit.
Always
if
sells
you can get
out.
Some, it's always a hit.
Down to the old-fashioned Good Humor truck.
That truck is so cool. She always comes. It's like a 1950s refurbished Good Humor truck.
Right.
Open top, exactly the same as it was. And she pops around all these great events. It's so much fun to see.
That's unique to our town.
Yeah, it's much more gathering, I would say, than a get your staples, get your milk, get your eggs kind of a farmer's market. But it's always a lot of fun.
It's a great time.
You don't have to live in Weston to come. It's not like they're checking driver's licenses at the parking lot.
And that's important for all the markets.
No matter where you live.
Because we talk about how they show community flavor, but every market you go to is welcoming to all. One of the things that you talk about, this growth and expansion of farmers markets, but this is about having access to fresh, delicious, healthy foods. And I think it's important to talk about the markets that are happening in city centers like for us here in Bridgeport. Bridgeport has an incredible farmers market network that's happening within the communities in Bridgeport. And the amazing part about this market is there's a map. You go to that site, and we're going to drop all of these links and notes and everything, by the way, in our show notes, as we always do, so you all can access and find them. But what I think is so incredibly wonderful about Bridgeport is that they allow for folks to use their SNAP benefits. So those are your public assistance dollars to spend on food that you can use at a grocery store. You can use those. You turn them into, I think they're Bridgeport bucks or farmers market bucks for those farmers markets, and you're able to use them. And that allows people we know this to statistically be in cities. Sometimes you're in what are called food deserts, especially for fresh food. So to be able to use that benefit and to access fresh food is just so critically important to the families that are there. And I think it's such a wonderful organization partnering on both education and providing food. There's cooking classes, there's education for the kids, and that's such a huge part of all markets. And the ways that they grow and develop and show up in communities tells us so much about the communities themselves, which I think is wonderful.
And all these different farmers markets, they each have their own mission statement and their own plan for how they're going to reach their communities. But the cool thing, if you look at all these mission statements, is they all position sort of in the same way. They're not just places.
They have shared themes.
Right. It's not just a place to buy vegetable or chicken, but it's really a community center. It's an education center. It's this environmentally minded gathering place that really not only strengthens local agriculture, but it really enriches neighborhoods. It enriches the people that come to them. I mean, if you're not going to grow in your yard to bring to your table, which we, of course, recommend everybody should do, go to your farmer's market. It really is the next best yard.
Yes, I love that. Can't grow everything, by the way.
You cannot.
And there are people who do it sometimes better than you do, and that's okay. I don't think there can be anything more important that we can do than support our local farmers, our local growers, and find community. These are really critically important, I think.
And what better place to do it than at your local farmer's market?
So get out there, friends, and find some delicious, fresh food and bring it to your table.
'Tis the season.
Thanks for being with us and having a seat at our table.
Yard to Table is a production of Macrocosm Entertainment. Don't forget to rate us and subscribe anywhere you listen to podcasts. And for tips and more information, follow us on Instagram at Stonebrook House.